Welcome back to another video, ladies and gentlemen, and today we are going to be talking about Resident Evil Requiem, aka Resident Evil 9. So there's a lot of talk within the Resident Evil world at the moment, and I know I'm kind of late to the party, coming on to YouTube and talking about it, but I want to talk about my feelings towards not just the trailer, from all the news we've seen. A lot of it you just take by a pinch of salt. So as we know, we're playing as Grace Ashcroft, who is the daughter of Alyssa Ashcroft, and it's very exciting when they introduce new characters like this, because when they introduced Ethan, I feel like personally, for me, I didn't like him as a character, but at the end of Resident Evil 8, I did kind of feel bad. I'm like, the whole story in Resident Evil 8 was kind of up and down. For me, it's not one of my favourites, but as we get the choice in this game to play in first or third person, and for me, I'll be playing in third person, just come over to my TikTok page and we will be playing this game. On launch, of course. I can't wait to play it. I really can't. The graphics itself look good. So it's convenient because we reacted to the state of play, and we were in the praying circle for Resident Evil 9, and it never came about. But we did get Silent Hill F, which again is a game I'm really looking forward to. So then I think a couple of days later, they decided, they're going to do that Summerfest, and it's the only one I didn't stream like live reactions. I kind of just thought, well, what are we gonna do? And I did show my excitement over on TikTok. So there is a lot of talk of certain characters coming back to the franchise, and yet there isn't any solid proof these characters are coming back. So one of those names being Leon Kennedy, Jill Valentine, but at the moment there is no confirmation. And what we'll say about this trailer, by the way, is not only does it look good, but there is a lot of names being thrown out there who's going to be the main villain. People saying Leon Kennedy. Why would my guy go from saving the world to being a super villain? I personally think it's going to be Albert Wesker. I think this is going to be his final chapter. I feel like, they're going to bring Albert Wesker back as a villain. And let's just say, going back to Raccoon City as well is nuts, considering that we had like Resident Evil 2 remake. Is amazing, and to go and play this straight after, you're like, wow, what happened to Raccoon City? And I really can't wait for this game, because the trailer itself has just got me super hyped for it, and I really just cannot wait. Let me know what you think in the comments. So there's been a lot of like gameplay as well that's been shown off. I don't remember what channel I got it from, but if I can find it, I will definitely give them a big shout out. There's been a lot of gameplay being shown off by the developers as well, and as you can see, it looks amazing. Playing third person, ignore the noise outside, it's just next door with their motorbike, but just looking at like the wetness of the game as well, as in like the effects it has, like with like when it's been raining, it just looks amazing. The game looks completely clean. It feels like with a new character as well, it's really gonna show the shakiness of what's gonna happen to Grace. So from what we know, her mother's dead, but we don't know much about that, and it looks like we're gonna get a stalker as well, like we did in previous Resident Evil games, like with Jack Baker, Nemesis, Mr. X, and I really do like that. And we could play in first person as well. For me, that is not something I will personally do, so I'm not a first person type of guy. But overall, the gameplay that we've seen so far is beyond amazing. So I'm going to show you some screenshots that I found regarding the latest news. So right here it says, new Resident Evil Requiem feature could change the series forever, leak claims. So this means that apparently this is going to be the last numbered Resident Evil game, apparently to a trusted leaker, and personally I just don't see this happening. I think they're going to keep the franchise going because I personally think, I don't know, I definitely wouldn't say 8 was the perfect game to like leave the franchise behind, but I feel like if that was the case, I think maybe 5 would probably been a good way to end it. You know, destroying Wesker, end of story. But they just kept making more, and I feel like they're going to have so many ideas going forward after this game, and I feel like if this gets good reception, and I feel like they're going to be motivated to make another game. I really don't think this will be the last Resident Evil game entry, as in like in the main game, not a remake, because remakes are going to keep coming. They're going to really make a lot of games in the next few years, because we're going to get a main game, then we're probably going to get a remake, then they might add in another remake, then they'll go back to a main base game. But what do I know? I'm just a streamer, content creator. I don't know what they're doing. They're definitely cooking up something. See right here it says Resident Evil Requiem to feature vehicles and open world sections. For 1 minute I just don't believe this in a Resident Evil game. Resident Evil isn't really known for making like an open world game, not like fully like a GTA or Saints Row, you know, or like, you know, a Bully Scholarship. Like I just don't see a world where we are going to be in a situation where Resident Evil is going to give us full open world. Like at this point I just don't see it. Like I really don't. But it'd be cool to drive some vehicles to, like, you know, the next area we have to go to. You know, that would be cool. But again, maybe they want to make Requiem very special. But I feel like for RE10 they might go all out on RE10 and completely change the future of the franchise. Again, like I just don't see this franchise actually finishing up anytime soon. Not in this lifetime. They're going to keep going, they're going to keep going, they're going to keep going. You know, we might get up to like Resident Evil 30, but who cares? You know, we love these games, we're passionate Resident Evil fans, but I just don't see it being an open world. So right here it says, leak says Resident Evil Requiem is Leon's last major role, and in many ways his send-off game. So to me, I hope this is not the case, because I would personally, to me, I like Leon as a character. I feel like he deserves, as a character, he deserves to have his own game, like to be his final game. But you know, like, we don't know if Leon's going to be in this game. There's rumours out there suggesting that he's going to be in this game, but as of right now, we don't particularly know if that's true. We don't even know if there's going to be any characters from previous games turning up. All we know is people just been saying this and that. We don't know. We don't know at this point. At this point, all we know is Grace Ashcroft. That's all we know. We know a little bit about her background, but at the same time, we don't. So at this point, I would definitely take this by a pinch of salt, because again, we don't know. We don't know shit at this point. We truthfully don't, and I think a lot of leakers are hardcore fans just praying Leon's in the game, and if he is in the game, I don't think it'll be a case where they kill Leon Kennedy. Leon Kennedy has probably gone through much worse in the time where we haven't seen him than what we're about to see with Grace. But I like to see them go back in time a bit and see, you know, what Leon does after Resi 6. But only time will tell. They could just fill in some gaps and be like, okay, this is what happened when, you know, Leon, between like 6 and 9, this is what Leon's been up to, and kind of as like a mini game. Like it says right here, rumours have pointed to Resident Evil 9 being an end to the series. trusted by leaker Dusk Gollum has said RE9 is going to be a conclusion game. See that right there, anyone reading this, he might be like a trusted leaker, but maybe he's saying this for people to be like, this could be a bad game, so don't expect any more after this. I mean, to me, like, bad games go as far as, I'm gonna say Resident Evil 7. The first part in that house was amazing. It felt like a real horror game, like a Resident Evil 5. Then we got the boat part, and every time I replay this, like on stream or in my spare time, I get to that part and I'm like, well, what am I doing? Put myself through this torture. The best game they created is Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 2, the argument, and the remakes as well. Like, they're fantastic. I'm thinking, why don't they just go back to like the original route and try and do something similar but differently? Like, it'd be completely mind blowing to a lot of fans. But wow, this is amazing. But there's issues I had with Resident Evil 8 as well. But I'm not going to get into those issues. But honestly, there's been a conclusion game. I just don't see it. So for better news. So Resident Evil 9 demo coming sooner than expected. So Capcom have announced, or there's going to be like an event. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but there's going to be one like in a few weeks, and apparently they are preparing to announce a demo. See, to me, like, that's really soon for a demo. For like a Resident Evil demo, we usually get that like a week prior to the release. Once we get all the trailers out of the way, where we're just we're on the pre-order stage, we've pre-ordered, we're waiting for the game, and they drop a demo out of nowhere. So I'm thinking maybe what they do is they get the demo out. Maybe they're going to do like a one-shot demo, then they'll do like an extended demo where different parts of the game. So maybe like we have like the beginning part like as the first demo, then shit goes down out of nowhere at the end of the demo, then it cuts you off from there. Then maybe in the later demo we'll get a bit of like a little bit of combat, Then after that, we just gotta wait for the full game. But apart from that, I think I've just covered everything for now. But apparently there's going to be like a demo coming out like real soon, like weeks away, or apparently this month. To me, that is insane. The amount of people that are going to download this demo, like, to me, demos, I love demos. I love them, but I hate them at the same time, because once you play them, you want to play more. But at the moment, people, that's all I've got for you. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I don't really do a lot of these videos. Usually you get gaming videos, but I just thought this would be a different video completely. Me talking about Resident Evil 9. If you like these types of videos, I will break down more stuff. Like I will sit down and talk about gaming news, or just stuff like this. You just have to let me know in the comment section, because I'm new to this. Like, I like the type of videos where I've run a game and I'm doing a bit of voiceover for the game, like where me and my friend, we played Resident Evil 5 and we sat through and I did a bit of voiceover for like the whole playthrough. Those are the sort of type of videos I like to do. But if you want to see more of them, just let me know in the comment section. But yeah, thank you for stopping by, and let me know what you think about all these news coming out. Do you think Resident Evil 9 is going to be the last numbered game in the franchise? Let me know. Do you think we're actually going to get a demo this month? And let me know what your thoughts are on Resident Evil Requiem so far, from like the gameplay and the trailer we've seen so far. Let me know.